Hey Virgo, welcome to your Divine Love reading. Predominantly this is going to be Soulmate, Twin Flame. I reference Twin Flames a lot. Twins, that tends to come up in who I channel for, so be mindful of that. If you don't know what that is, that's okay. Just be mindful of the messages that are coming through, because that is that's what's going to resonate. If it doesn't resonate, it's okay. It is a general reading, so some of it might be for you, some of it might be for someone else. Either way, whether you're the Virgo, you're watching for someone that's a Virgo, I'm grateful that you are here. I do personalized readings, and the information is in the description box below. I'm also on Instagram. I do daily Zodiac readings. And yeah, so we'll kind of get started and see what's going on in the connection for you guys right now. So I just want to get a check on the current energy between the two of you. Yeah, so we have the World, and whenever I see this card, for those of you that watch me, you know that I look at that shadow on the World and I think about the dark night of the soul and doing work with shadow selves. Predominantly, there's a big energy of fear bubbling up in the collective to bring up those things that aren't really meant to be feared. What is it you're really fearing? What is it you're really avoiding? Okay, what are you avoiding, Virgo? And here's the thing, I'm going to be clear. Whatever is happening subconsciously for the feminine is manifesting physically for the masculine. Okay. Where do we want to go with this? We want to go here. Okay. We're going to look at past situation that provided healing or learning for the two of you. Often, if there's learning involved, it was probably painful in some ways. But there's always healing and learning to be had, even if it's good. The good, the bad, and the ugly, right? So there's emotional confusion. Okay. The first one that came up here was the Seven of Cups. Okay. So there's definitely some emotional confusion in this situation. Then we had the Chariot. Okay. And the Chariot is interesting because it's this like forward movement, right? It's this forceful, determined energy to move forward. Often it's guided by the universe. There's not a whole lot of power in where it takes you. It doesn't always take you where you want it to go, but it always takes you where you need it to go. Okay. Yeah. And then we have the Devil, and we have the Five of Pentacles. For some of you, what I found was really interesting that came up is you actually believe you know what's for your greatest and highest good over the universe. Like, you know more than the universe, or you know better than the universe what's best for you. That's going to be a tough lesson to learn if you're not mindful of that. The universe is far bigger than we are and has many more years of experience. I'm just going to put that out there. The Devil showing up here is, there's codependency here, okay? And the Five of Pentacles is feeling like you have to do all the work yourself. Putting the onus, like, I'm just getting like, there's an energy usually of this, that the universe is not supporting me, that I'm, but there's a belief here. There's a belief here that as much as you want to say you believe in the universe, there's part of you that has this disbelief, like you're going to have to do this all on your own, and it's daunting. And it's creating a lot of fear and emotional confusion for you. But it's happening, and again, this is happening for the both of you, right? I feel like this situation is more about, yeah. Oh, that wasn't even the bottom card. Yeah. Putting you in a position to decide what you truly want. Providing clarity around what that is. The lesson learned here is that, one, yes, you have to do the work on yourself, but 2, you're not doing it alone, and 3, to surrender to what the universe has to offer you in regards to help. Hang on. They're very chatty today. I feel like some of you want this to go a specific way. Like it's the only way that it'll work is what I'm hearing. This is the only way it'll work, but that's bullshit. And it's time to dial back from that, because that's your shadow self. That's your ego coming forward and thinking that it knows what's best. But it's keeping you trapped and feeling like you're unsupported. So I feel like there's a huge shift around that happening for the both of you. For them, it could be in a very physical way. Like I can only do this. You know, I can only do my job this one way. I can only live this one way. But that's not true. Okay. Very, very interesting, you guys. All right. So how is the connection affecting you right now? Okay. Well, that was fast. Yeah. So we have some very interesting energy. We have the 5 of Wands. So we have some competition. We have some inner conflict. Okay. And it's resulting in outer conflict. It's creating conflict on the outside. We have the Queen of Wands. Okay, and the Queen of Wands is a very powerful energy, but it's also about self-empowerment and taking responsibility for what is your responsibility and releasing what is not. And then we have the 8 of Pentacles. So I feel like you have to be really careful, Virgo, because there are certain things you are responsible for, like choosing to believe one thing over another. But you're not responsible for how things turn out in other people's lives. You're not responsible for other people's happiness. You're not responsible for being perfect. Getting caught up in these little details that are causing you disempowerment, if you will, or creating disempowerment in your life. So I feel the reason this is coming up right now for you and why you're experiencing this is so that you can face it and recognize that, you know what, this is how I'm going to shift and change things. This is how I'm going to empower myself by allowing things to be imperfect, and know that in my heart and in my truest intentions, this is full of light and love and for my greatest and highest good. And that has to be good enough, because it's what's best for me and everyone else involved. I do feel like there's a responsibility here. Some of you might be moms, some of you might be in relationships. If you're not, it's a work responsibility, you know. That's coming up a lot right now, what people are really responsible for and what they're not. And it's time to trust your intuition over your mind. Okay, that's a hard thing to do because intuition is very knowledge based. All right, so we'll get into a little bit of what's going on with this other person. There is an extended version, guys, and we talk more about hidden factors in your connection, blockages that are being removed right now, lessons that are being learned, how they want to move forward with you, guidance on what steps to take, next steps in the journey for you, what you can do right now to better this, to help yourself, to then better the connection, etc., and some hopes and intentions moving forward. All right, so let's go ahead and see where we're at with that. What is let's get a card representing them. Okay, well, So we have the Five of Swords energy, and the Five of Swords is Aquarius energy. So they could have strong Aquarius in their chart somewhere. It could be their sun, their moon, their rising, their Venus, what have you. This is somebody that is, interestingly enough, picking their battles, okay? Determining what's worth fighting for. Maybe they've been hanging on to something that no longer serves out of expectation. And I feel like that also suits you in a lot of ways. There's a lot of expectations on you, Virgo. Okay, let's see what's on their mind right now. Well, we had two, but we'll take this one. Okay, so we have the Knight of Cups coming up. Okay, wanting to come forward with emotional communication, being able to express their emotions in a healthy way, perhaps even coming forward and expressing how they feel. They struggle with perfection as well. Again, we're getting Aquarius energy. This is Aquarius Pisces. So they could still, I feel like they have a strong Aquarius in their chart, which tells me they have like an analytical mind. They have a very smart analytical mind. Anyway, all right, let's see what is going on in their heart space right now. Okay, very interesting. So we'll take the first one, the top one. I always take that. It was just the Queen of Pentacles for those of you. We have Four of Cups. Okay, the Four of Cups is Cancer energy, but this is an energy of boredom and discontentment. They're not happy with the situation that they're in right now. They know it's not feeding their soul, even though they would never say, oh, this doesn't feed my soul. They'll be like, this is bullshit. I'm not happy. Like, why am I doing this? Like, and I feel for them. I feel for feminine energy. I feel like I always read feminine, masculine. It is what it is, but the energy is interchangeable, and there's no gender. But I feel like there's relationship stuff here for you, Virgo, and for them it's work stuff. Okay, but it's the same. It's almost like similar lessons, but different ways of going about learning them. Okay. What they do is highly competitive. They have to stay on top of their game in order to be the best in what they do. But that is no longer bringing them joy and happiness. Okay. Just like it's no longer bringing you joy and happiness to be an absolute service to others, because there has to be an equal exchange there. First, this is coming through very strongly right now, so it's probably important for somebody. So for those of you, you will find far greater joy in teaching others to service themselves than to do everything for them. It's that whole bringing a man, teaching him how to fish versus fishing for him. Okay, so put that in mind. It's very interesting that came up. Okay, so how are they viewing you right now? Interestingly enough, they view you as the 10 of Wands, okay? And before you get too cuckoo about it, okay, this is actually represented by Virgo, okay? This is a Virgo energy card. So it's like September 14th to September 22nd. It's the third decanate in Virgo. That's what the 10 of Wands represents. But what I get from this is there's this comparative energy. So when they think of you, when they're with you, what have you, they feel happiness and joy. They've never felt like that in anything else in their life, with anyone, with any experiences. Very limiting. Okay, maybe if they have kids, they've experienced when their kids are born or certain moments with their children. But the burden to them is that they can't figure it out. They can't figure out why this feels the way that it does. but it's acting as a catalyst for them. Just like the connection is a catalyst for you, it's acting as a catalyst to help them move forward into what serves their happiness. It's helping clear out their own emotional confusion. So there's still a lot of mirroring happening here, guys. It's just different. The experiences you're having are different, but the lessons you're learning are very much the same. And so yeah, I think we're going to leave it at that. There's more, like I said, we're going to talk more in the extended version about how to move forward with this. And you can get that information in the description box below. But at this moment in time, Virgo, you're really looking at a space of empowering yourself instead of disempowering yourself. And knowing that any form of disempowerment comes from the shadow or the ego, or low vibrational beliefs that no longer serve you. Okay. So I hope that this has helped. If it's resonated at all, please like, share, comment, and or subscribe. Be your peace, love yourself, share your light, and have an amazing day.